my volume up there. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Doo, 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 doo. Run, Forrest, run. Need the gun. Need the gun. Come on. Where's the guns? If you're tuning in right now, you're catching me chilling out before the show. By chilling out, I don't mean winning. Alright? You know, if you've seen me playing this game, I am shite. But we will get there, folks. We will get there. Watching Uni playing this morning, man, I tell you what, it's like a different game when you watch him playing it. Seriously, it is. My boy's sitting here laughing at me as well, so... That's a gun and a half, wee man, innit? We've got Phil in there. We've got... Sammy the Bull. I like that. Cool name. How you doing, people? Oh, no. Right, let's get going. Where's that buggy? Let's get on the buggy, man. Buggy wuggy. Yep, just a few games I'm having for the show, chilling out. Got lots to talk about tonight. Lots and lots. Got one of those, dare I say it, a Kev Baker Show, I told you so moment. We all love I told you so moments, right? Woo! Right, here we go. Come on. See what's happening in here. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man? Just a little half hour of gaming or so. Chill out before get ready for the show. Going to be talking about these strange packages that have been turning up at George Soros' house, Bill Clinton. You know, we'll be getting into that. And like I say, it's almost something we've all predicted happening. I'll explain more about that on the show. But we'll also be talking about, oh man, we've got the thunder snow coming our way, dudes. Thunder snow. It's never good. And I always said, you know, the good summer we had in Scotland, there was going to be payback for that. It looks like we're getting it now. Up, yeah. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How can we take Kev seriously after this rubbish? You don't have to take me seriously. If you think it's rubbish, that's cool. Very sorry for having time away from looking at all the crap. So that's okay, Margaret. You don't have to take me seriously. That's all right. Nobody takes me seriously in this house anyway. You should never take anything too seriously. Life's too short. Hope you're all doing well out there. Nah, there's nothing happening up here, man. It's boring. Let's get down. Do. Where's Kristen when you need her? She always thinks it never works when I play this game. Need her in the chat room. Eric. Love me and Mr. Patch. Yeah, I think you know, if you go to Anthony's website, he's not actually on TFR anymore. So I think if you go to his website, you can find like exclusive Anthony content on there. Anthony Patch is a genius. He truly is. I've learned so much from him along the way about CERN, science, spirituality, and yeah, it's definitely somebody I can't recommend highly enough. Taking a look at CERN, you know, there's not really a lot coming out of there just now. They're at the stage of the year where they're coming to an end. They'll be wrapping things up. They'll probably do a couple of runs of something exotic. They usually try that this time of year, some proof of concept stuff. But I've not really been keeping a close eye on what's going on there. Just so much going on in the world right now. And I know China, they're meant to be building some super collider in the next few years. So it's CERN just now, but you can guarantee we'll all be back kind of raging and talking about the whole, oh, there's a nice one, the whole Chinese collider. But also tonight on the show, and I seen Uni speaking about this the other night. I covered it on my show as well. Any of you see that crazy square iceberg that broke off from Antarctica? If you didn't, it's getting weirder because now NASA have found a second weird monolith-shaped iceberg coming off the South Pole. Now, I've got no idea what that's all about. It's definitely strange, and when you look at it, nature never ever works in straight angles. It just doesn't. It's not how nature works, folks. So there's obviously something going on down there. There's always something going on down there. Whether we ever get to find out, that's the big question. I better get myself moving, man. Ooh. Can't wait till tonight. Yeah, Joseph, he left a few weeks ago. He had a show on. And I didn't even know he was leaving at the time. I think he probably knew I'd be upset and maybe try and speak him out of it. But, you know, we're all on our own paths and our own journeys. And there's certainly no ill feeling between myself and Anthony, that's for sure. There's a bad guy in here. You see, I've been taking tips from Uni. Throw the things. That's what we do. Run, Forest. When did Anthony leave and why? He just wanted to go his own way, I believe. I mean, if you listen to his last show, he kind of laid it all out there. You still get that. I'd probably get it on his YouTube channel as well. I think he's just wanting to go a different direction from TFR, really. No big conspiracy. No big fallouts. Nothing like that. No drama. I know the internet, it loves drama, but sorry, can't give you any drama here. Can't give you drama when there is none. No, I don't want that. Damn circle, man. Run, Baker, run! There we go. Yeah, so what else are we going to be talking about tonight? How about you guys and girls out there? If there's anything you want us to cover, drop it in the chat room. Jimmy Jeans, he's going to be coming along. Johnny Whistles is going to be back as well tonight. You know, we night off last night. I had Dr. Karlstrom on talking about gang stalking and targeted individuals. And this is definitely... Oh, hang on. I heard something now. Probably hearing myself. Kev, never say you're a bad at this game. I would get shot jumping out of the plane. That's happened to me. Deborah, that has actually happened to me. So, yeah. You know what? It's not about winning or anything. It's about really unplugging from stuff. You know, it can get a bit heavy at times. Why am I... Swim up, you fool. It can get a bit... See, if you sit for like 12, sometimes 15 hours a day like I have done in the past. Well, I died on the way getting there. You know, I've found that if all you do is absorb and look at this kind of information, the research stuff like that, I tell you, it really takes its toll. It truly, truly does. And that's why I kind of balance things out, going from the heavier kind of topics out there to the woo, as I like to call it. Because it's not good for you. It really takes its toll on you. And that's not me saying, oh, feel sorry for me. I mean, it happens to all of you. out there as well, I would imagine, when you're looking at all of this stuff. It's not easy. You know, it's can get quite depressing. It really can. So I find this, maybe watching a Netflix show, something like that. I'll get criticised for that as well, because seemingly watching the television makes you an automatically a bad person. I can't figure that one out. I think if you know that you're watching a program, and you know you're watching a program, it doesn't have the same effect on you. It's the same as when you first see a magician. Magician's brilliant, right? How the heck do they do that? But once you know the magic, the tricks and the illusion involved, kind of takes some of that away, doesn't it? And I find it's the same with the TV and stuff. So yeah, that's why I've got more into the gaming. And I've always been a gamer, don't get me wrong. My son, he loves his gaming as well. But I think as you get older, your reflexes definitely die. They slow down. That's my excuse anyway, right? So the next time I'm playing with uni and the troops on there, you can think to yourself, it's all right, Kev's just getting a little bit older now. Got to give him a little bit of leeway. I think Treyarch, or whatever you call the company that makes COD, they should ask you what age you are, and then your character, they should kind of compensate for your lack of reflexes and onset and grey hair. They really, really should. Phil C. What's Phil saying? Phil's always got something good to say. Joseph, bro, I'm getting Red Dead Redemption tomorrow. That looks absolutely brilliant. What's my thoughts on remote viewing? I really like the idea of remote viewing, Eric. I really do. Major Ed Dames, I know he's got his critics out there. You've got Courtney Brown. I think it's the Farsight Institute that do all the remote viewing. I'm really interested in that. I really do think there's something to that. You know how I like to go quantum and stuff like that? Well, in my opinion, when you go quantum, you know, time and things, it becomes irrelevant. And if there is that kind of 0 point field out there, I know it sounds a bit woo, but I honestly do think it is possible. Not all the time. I'm sure some people out there that claim they remote view, probably just fantasists, easy to make stuff up. But then you have to look at the fact, you know, Major Ed Dames, he's been used in criminal cases, missing people, stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely do think there's something to it. Now, if somebody came to me with a remote viewing report and told me X, Y, and Z was going to happen, does that mean it's going to happen? I would put it in the maybe category. You know, I don't think it's a definite science. I think it's hit and a miss. And again, it's down to the remote viewer, how they interpret what they're actually seeing, what they're being given. But absolutely, it fascinates me. I would love to be able to try and do it. I really would. And I suppose it's not that hard, really. We had Duncan Campbell used to come on the show. And he used to talk about remote viewing a lot. Something he used to do. I think Duncan kind of backed away from the Kev Baker Show when I started going full throttle and trying to expose the con that is QAnon. And I know Duncan was very, very into that kind of stuff, and that's no criticism of Duncan, you know, but it certainly came between us. And that's the thing with stuff like QAnon and things like that. You know, you should never let it come between people, even if you disagree about it. But that's what's happened with that whole... I'm even hastened to call it a conspiracy. I really am. It's a weird, weird phenomenon altogether. And I'll probably get into that with Jimmy on the show tonight, because that ties into one of the stories I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, remote viewing, I'm into a bit of that. Absolutely. Right, let's see if I can get a kill this time, folks. Maybe. Oh, but Red... There he is up there. Holy shit, what's happened, man? Lagged me out. What the hell was that all about? That was always happening. That was always happening there. I knew it. But, dang, buffering. Is it buffering at your end as well, Ruth? I hope not. I really hope not. What else we got in the chat room? Eric, I just listened to Ed Dames on the Coast to Coast show with the late great Art Bell. Awesome stuff. Art Bell, absolutely. You know, anyone doing the kind of stuff I do, and I would say I'm a very limited, average kind of podcaster, average kind of radio show host. You know, to look at somebody like Art Bell and what he done, absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal, really is. Big loss, big huge loss. And again, Art had his critics. You know, you put your head above the parapet in this alternative media realm, and people are going to try and take your head clean off. You know, you got to have really, really thick skin. You do. And yeah, Art Bell, well, big loss. George Norrie, Coast to Coast. I like George. You know, sometimes he goes a bit softball. I remember one show where he was speaking to somebody who had allegedly been abducted by aliens, and the only question George could ask or could think of was, what colour of shoes did the aliens have on? Really? That's the first thing that came into your mind, George, when somebody's telling you they were abducted? I don't know. It's I like to think of Freaky Friday on TFR as being like, what would you call it? Coast to Coast with big boy pants. It's Coast to Coast for the hardcore. It truly, truly is. But, you know, Coast to Coast, Art Bell, all the other hosts on TFR, all the other networks, you know, all we're trying to do is get information out there. Doesn't mean we're always right. In fact, I would go as far as to say I'm rarely right. But we certainly do try. And I know that the audience that I get here and over on TFR, I know you absolutely appreciate that. And we're our own little team, we really are. And I don't go about saying I'm going to save the world or I'm even going to change much in the world. I wish I had that effect. I wish we did. What I try to do is give us the information, and together we'll try and figure out what the hell's going on, right? And then from there, we improvise, adapt, and overcome. Because all of these things that are coming at us, the transhumanism, the technology, stuff like that, it's coming, folks. It's here. There's no turning back from that. Whether you like it or not, it's a reality that that's the world we're moving into now. Humans 2.0, hive minds, all this kind of stuff that you hear us talking about. So if we can't beat that, what do? Well, we try and work around it as best as we can. And that's what we're trying to do. Trying to make sense of the madness. But hold on tight, folks. Here we go. One more drop. One more. Just one more. If you've watched my gaming streams before, you'll know that just one more rarely means just one more. There we go. We'll drop in on top of the wind turbine. That would not be healthy. Right, we've got people in here. So who was it that said they were getting Red Redemption or Red Dead 2? Can't remember the name of the damn game now. It looks absolutely awesome though, I must admit. Thought there was another bad guy around here. Bag. I'll take a look at the chat in a moment, folks. I'll see what's happening. Now, as you'll see, still no super chat on this channel. Still under the whole demonetized game that YouTube play. And that's not a moan or a complaint, folks. It's just to let you know. I've reapplied to get monetization back. I really, if I was to put a percentage on how hopeful I am of getting that, whoa, 10, 5%. I don't know. Not very confident, put it that way. But of course, I've had a lot of people out there, probably some of you watching, that have stepped up and joined the Patreon campaign. And I give away all the shows at the end of the week on there. I add in the odd exclusive article. Sending out key rings. I've got a bunch of key rings here. I'll show you them in a minute. I just have not got round to sending them out yet, but hopefully sometime very soon. But you know, if they never give me the Google ads back, it's okay. I'll still be here, folks. I just like getting the info out. And TFR, I'll always be on TFR as long as TFR want me. So that's not a biggie. That's not an issue at all. So you will always get your Kev Baker Show woo in one way, fashion, or another. I promise. No doubt after tonight's show, I'll probably be hanging out over at Uni Rock too. I really like that guy, and I know Uni, he's going to be changing up his content very soon. You know, he kind of got caught up there, and it's easy to do, get caught up in the YouTube dramas. But what Uni was doing was vital work, in my opinion. He was highlighting some of the scams out there, some of the conspiracies that myself in the past, when I was new coming to all this stuff, I would most certainly have fallen for. And I think, you know, sometimes it's misconstrued by people, usually supporters of the channels Uni's kind of pointing out. But, you know, to see him taking grief and things for exposing people, that says more about the people giving him grief than it does about him. So I'm looking forward to seeing Uni's new content, because I know he's into a lot of the woo that we actually do on KBS. So I'll be really interested to see how he gets on with that. And if there's any guests that Uni wants to get on his show, and I can help him in any way, I'll certainly do that. It's all about helping each other, folks, building teams, little communities. I wonder, right, if I can go this full kind of day gaming without seeing anyone. What the hell's going on there? Hang on. Why is my dude not moving? Oh, he is now. That was weird. Uber weird. Right, so what we see now in the chat room. Baker thinks he's so intelligent. Back tier. That's all right. You know what, Keith? You know what I love to do to people like you? McEwen's export. Don't even drink, mate. But you know what I like to do? I like to block people like you. Bye. Ah, yes. Isn't it great that people spend their whole day? What's it say about people if they come and tune in to somebody they don't like? What does that really say about people? I don't get it. Really don't get it. You know, if you've got that much to say about me, why don't you just turn on your camera and live stream it? Grow a set of balls instead of doing it faceless in the chat room. Or you could jump out your boat like I just did there. I lost my boat, man. Wouldn't it be great if you could have like a battle royale against all of your trolls in here? Oh, wouldn't that just be great? I'd probably get beaten right enough, but hey ho, still be fun. And yeah, in the chat room, I've got a few mods in there. Mods, same rules as Uni's. If it's genuine criticism, I'm cool. We're good with that. But if it's just stupidity, like what we've seen from some individual there that'll remain nameless, because it probably isn't his real name anyway, then get rid. We're in here to have fun, you know what I mean? There's a bad guy out here. He's in here somewhere. Get up the hill. What else we got? The quietest battle royale ever. So, folks, what you've been looking into today, or what have you been up to today? Me, I've just been reading. My son, he's got his wisdom teeth are coming in right now, and he chose a few months ago not to get them out of the dentist. I think he's probably regretting that now. So, I've kind of had a day with my son. He had to take a day off school because of it all. So that was quite nice, although I don't really like him missing school. Nothing can be done when you're sore with your teeth and things like that, but it's always nice to get a day with a wee man. Because, folks, believe it or not, he and all of your children out there is the reason that I personally try and get the information out to people. You know, it's about them. It's their future. They're the real people who are going to be living in the world that people like myself and other hosts point out. They're the ones that are going to inherit this place from us. So I hope we can wake people up along the way. I hope we can have a positive effect. And, you know, I know my son, I wonder if it's really, you know, telling about in general, because he seems to be very awake. And I suppose you could say, but Kev, he's probably been listening to you over the years, and I get that. I do get that. But I just wonder, you know, if this new generation growing up right now, because they've grown up with the internet, and I know that can be a bad thing. I've said that before in the past. They know no different than the internet. Probably changes the way that they think. They don't have to think the way we used to. They can just everything at the touch of a button. But at the same time, they're also, you know, there's a potential that they will be awake because of the information they get online. So it's a bit weird. And I'm confident. I'm confident, you know, about the future. Some of the children, some of them are lost. The indoctrination centre has totally got to them. And I suppose in a way that comes down to parenting as well. But being a parent these days, it's so not easy. You know, we're all struggling. You're out working most of the day. The school's got, oh, hang on. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. I seen him as well. Seen him. Yeah, but like I was saying, Kevin, he's 16. And if he's an average 16-year-old, then I'm very encouraged, because that means that, you know, these kids growing up, they can see right through some of the BS. They really, really do. And that's a good thing in my opinion. That's definitely encouragement for the future. So one more game, folks, and if you want to drop some topics in the chat while I'm playing, I'll be able to discuss them for you if you like. Since we got rid of our one troll, maybe we should have left the troll in there just to see what nonsense he would have come up with. What really pathetic insults. Like, get back to your McEwen's export. I think McEwen's export used to be a drink in, like, a can of beer in Scotland years ago. I'm saying years ago because it's really years since I bothered drinking, but hey ho, who knows? If that made him feel important for 2 minutes, he's probably away telling everyone now that we mentioned him in the KBS chat. That's probably what's going on. Probably made his day. He's probably away to drink his own McEwen's export, right? It's all transference you find with half of these trolls anyway. Right, what we're seeing here, 5G routers in schools are frying their brains. Possibly, you know what I'm sitting right next to as well, Joseph? You guessed it, 5G router. I think vaxxed people will have more 5G problems. That might work. Hey, Lee, how you doing, Lee, man? I'm just in here chilling about. I don't know what that troll was talking about. Nana, exactly. You'd have to be Scottish. And even if you were Scottish, it was the most pathetic insult ever. To be told that you're not interesting or you're not intelligent and go back and drink your McEwen's export. But that's just not even trolling. I shouldn't even have kicked him. I should have just said, if you're going to troll me, do it right so I can kick you out and it'd be justified. But Lee, how you doing, man? What you been watching today, Lee? I know you're always into some good stuff, dude. You've always got something topical for us to discuss. Here we go. I'll just sit here and chill out. We're pending deployment. So it says 54 in the chat room. That's absolutely epic. You can still buy McEwen's exports in red cans with Bonnie Charlie. There you go. DJ B2. I was never a McEwen's man. I was more of a Tennant's lager man when I was drinking myself. That and Jack Daniels. Can't be a Jack Daniels and a malt whiskey. Oh, man. I'm a sucker for a malt whiskey. Just one or two, though. Because, you know, when I was back in the army, as most guys and women do in the army, drinking is a big part of life. There's a big drink culture in there. I'm not saying it's a good thing, that's for sure, but, you know, I think in later life, that's what turned me away from drinking. I just, nah, it's not my cup of tea now at all. In fact, a cup of tea is more my cup of tea these days. Very, very boring. Although, you know, I got to the stage where I was getting drunk and I called it invisible drunk and blind drunk because A, you couldn't remember anything, and judging by what my friends were telling me, I must have thought I was invisible because some of the nonsense I was getting up to, unbelievable. But hey, here we are now, live to tell the tale. That's what it's all about, right? Right, let's see, there must be people about here somewhere. Maybe if I stopped talking and started concentrating, maybe we'd get somewhere. Maybe. Somebody's talking about Rob Lowe. Anyone watch that program, The Lowe Files? Enjoyed that. That was Rob Lowe, famous Hollywood actor guy, going out and basically doing a show on Woo. He was going around a whole heap of places, investigating it. Looked for the Sasquatch. He went off the coast of Malibu looking for that UFO base that's allegedly down there. He went ghost hunting. I was never a big fan of Rob Lowe back in the day. More of a girl's cup of tea, I think, than appealing to guys. But good actor. I did like his stuff, don't get me wrong. But I really, really recommend The Lowe Files if you're maybe a couple hours on your hands, try and kill some time, want some woo. It's all right. It's good. It's not bad. Right, time to head inland, folks. So what's happening in the chat? Lee, there is a way too much drama with the SSP and Blue Avian issues. Joe from the Carolinas recently interviewed with Jason. Yeah, Jason Rice guy. I've still to watch that Jason Rice interview with Joe from the Carolinas. And there's a channel up there with Uni that I would recommend. Joe from the Carolinas. Really, really clever guy. And a really, really solid interview from what I could make out from what Uni was saying and the bits he played on there. But I think Jason Rice is one of the latest kind of secret space program whistleblowers from what I can make out. I had Captain K on the show at one point. And Captain K, you know, you could put him in the same bracket as Good and all the other secret space program people. It never showed me a shred of evidence, but his story was compelling. And that's why I had him on the show a couple of times. And me personally, I think there is something secretive going on out there. Whether it's as sensational and whether it's as exciting as some of them make out, I don't know. And if these people have been in secret projects, we have to be very, very wary of the fact that they could be talking about false memories. They could literally be talking about false memories. Now, that doesn't mean they weren't in the program. But I would imagine if you have been in a secret, beyond top secret program like that, you know, they're going to do things to you so that when you do get out, you know, you're not going to be blowing the whistle per se. And at the same time, we know there's disinfo agents out there. Corey Good, he's just... I mean, if you look at my earlier shows on the Kev Baker Show, I really wasn't too fussy. I would get on the kind of current guests, the current big names that were doing the rounds and things like that. But when people were saying to me, get Corey Good on, my stomach, man, no way. And Lee, you'll know I go with my gut a lot. Doesn't mean you're always right when you go with your gut, but Corey Good, man. And I think Gaia TV, you know, I think that, I mean, they're the ones that were behind Good and all the rest of it, the secret space program. I really think they're awesome marketing and a really good company at what they do. And what they do is they make shitloads of money. That's what they do. I had Patty Greer on the show, and she's involved in, I don't know how it's going, but they were trying to sue Patty for $1 million or so because she was coming out and blowing the whistle about what life at Gaia TV is really like. And I know a lot of people out there like Gaia. However, the question is, are we any nearer to the truth about the secret space program? I think Gary McKinnon, wee Scottish guy, sure you have heard of him. That looks like a good gun. Oh, yes. Yeah, Gary McKinnon, he came up with some really compelling evidence when it comes to all that stuff, to be honest with you. He was talking about hacking into a NASA computer, although technically not hacking, because it's not hacking if all you do is type in password. And that's how simple it was, folks. Because basically, Gary McKinnon got onto a NASA computer, or it was one in the Pentagon, can't quite remember. And it was talking about the transfer of terrestrial and non-terrestrial officers between ships that don't exist on any terra firma US Navy kind of manual or manifest. So I think the closest we've got to seeing what the secret space program was all about personally, and I could be wrong, it's just my opinion, but I think Gary McKinnon got very, very close indeed to finding out what was going on. And I think the fact that they tried to give somebody with Asperger's, or they wanted to give him 80 years hard time, I think that in itself shows you that they were worried about what McKinnon had seen. And that has to make you wonder then, just what was it Gary McKinnon was into? What was it they thought he had seen? Now, Lee, I don't know if that even ties in with what you were talking about with the secret space program, but I definitely see all the drama that's happening around it. And Joe from the Carolinas, I really appreciate the fact he's gone to this new guy. Can't remember, Jason something, I think his name is Jason Rice. Because Joe from the Carolinas, he was asking some really hard questions, you know, and sometimes that's not what we see. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got nothing. Oh, I'm going to die again, folks. Can you believe it? Definitely time to get ready for the show after this one. So what's Lee saying? Patch. Yes, you've done a great job. Nano girl. There's a star. And Nano will be coming back sometime soon, folks. She really will. She's I'm in email contact with Nano, and as I'm sure listeners of the show will know, she works in Silicon Valley. So it's quite hard getting dates and stuff like that organized, and she was that close to getting a job with D-Wave quantum computers. And that would have just been the most absolutely huge synchronicity kind of ever, because think of all the shows myself and Patch have done on D-Wave, stuff like that. And when Nano Girl came and told me she had an interview with Eric Ladzinski, the main man at D-Wave, I almost fell off the chair. It was just bizarre, truly, truly bizarre. So I'll need to get Nano back on sometime soon. But if there's any other guests that you people want me to get on, you can get in touch at truetube1984@gmail.com. That's truetube, TRUETUBE, 1984@gmail.com. If you people want to hear guests, I'll certainly try my hardest to get them. I have tried David Icke time and time and time again, but for some reason, and I think I know what it is, he just hasn't even got back in touch with me. He's one guest I would love to get on, and I know people say he's highly controversial, but I think his mate Richie Allen has kind of scuppered that. Richie Allen seems to see me as some kind of competition because we're both in the UK and we both do similar stuff. I couldn't give two hoots what Richie Allen's up to. I'm just doing my own thing. But I do think that's what's got in the way of David Icke coming on. But fingers crossed, folks, fingers crossed I'll get him in the near future. I'd love to kind of tick him off the list. You know, when I started doing the show, there was maybe 4 or 5 people I would love to have gotten on. And I'm not going to give them all away. I've had a couple of them on. But David Icke's certainly one of them. And, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. But like I say, myself, Jimmy, Johnny Whistles, we're all there to bring you the information that you want. Now, obviously, at times I'll bring the information that I'm genuinely interested in, and maybe something that it's not really up your alley, but that's why I like to balance it out by doing shows where you call the content. And tomorrow night, I think myself and Jimmy are going to go live. We're going to simulcast the Kev Baker Show on TFR, because we'll always be on TFR. That's the home network. But I believe I'm going to try maybe the second hour tomorrow night on here, live streaming KBS. So keep your eyes open for that. That's definitely something that will be happening tomorrow. Over the weekend as well, I'm going to get more into this live streaming, and not just gaming, folks. And that's why I've taken a leaf out of Uni's book. I make it quite clear when I'm going into a gaming stream, so that people aren't turning up thinking they're getting the full polished Kev Baker Show article with lots of stories, stuff like that. But that being said, I want to get into the kind of full presentations on the live stream. And it's not because, you know, I mean, you can look at the live stream right now. I don't have monetization or anything else, folks, but I genuinely enjoy live streaming. I think it's far better when you can talk to your audience like I can here. Saggy, can you cover those explosives being sent to people? That's exactly what I'm going to be doing tonight. That's exactly. Gary McKinnon, don't remember him. I'll have to look into him. Nana, he was a Scottish guy. Probably about the same age as myself now. But he was a young guy and he had Asperger's. And he was quite into computing. And it was way back in the day when we had like 56K dial-up modems. Wee, all that kind of stuff. Really, really slow. And he got on to NASA and Pentagon computers. And I say NASA and Pentagon because I can't remember which one it was. But he was talking about seeing, you know, transfers of personnel. And they were called terrestrial and non-terrestrial officers. Now, the US went after him big time, huge time. And it took years, you know, for Gary to be given the okay to be cleared. But they were threatening him with 80 years in jail at one point. 80 years in jail. And he said, you know, one day he got kind of caught because somebody was obviously in working at the weekend and noticed the mouse and things happening on the terminal next to them. But he got away with it because he just said he was testing it. He was one of the IT team and nobody thought anything else of it. You know, if that's the security protocols that were in place at the time, back then at the Pentagon and things like that, and Gary was in there taking a look around, who else was in there? What else were they playing about with? What other stuff were they seeing in there, you know? So, yeah, Gary McKinnon, for sure. Check that one out. And, yeah, that bombs, definitely going to be doing the bombs tonight. Just got home, got beer, getting chat mode on now. Phil, awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be talking about these pipe bombs because I kind of made a prediction months ago as to what might play out to do with a certain conspiracy that we've all spoke about ad nauseum. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about the latest kind of woo from the South Pole. Not one, but two monolithic icebergs now. We have got thunder snow coming to the UK. We've got some woo as well. We've got Johnny Whistles. We've got Jimmy Jeans. You add me into the mix, and that means we're going to have a cracking Kev Baker show. And it all starts 55 minutes from now over at tfrlive.com. Hopefully my little troll won't come along and tell me to drink a can of beer. What a pathetic attempt at trolling, truly. You know, if you're going to troll me, do it good. Really, that's just, it's not even amusing. You know, some trolls are amusing, but no, I know all of you out there, there's no trolls amongst you. We're a good little team here. A lot of us are part of the Uni family, the Uni fam, Uni Rockers, and I'll certainly be over there after the show tonight. If you can't join us live for the show, you'll probably see me hanging out in Uni's chat room. Or if not, I'll be back on the Kev Baker show tomorrow. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. No excuse to miss any of the shows through the week. I know I haven't been putting them on YouTube right now, but you have to understand that the fact I did put them on YouTube and then other people came along and ripped them off and re-uploaded them, that's why I ended up getting done with duplication, because the algorithm recognized that my content was elsewhere on YouTube. Now, the algorithm didn't bother to look at what date or look for the earliest upload to see who the originator of the content was. So that's why at the moment, I'm not putting Kev Baker Show episodes onto YouTube. Now, that may change in the future, if I can get the YouTube to give me the tool that will allow me to content match. In other words, if anyone else uploads the shows, I'll be automatically notified. And I won't strike them, but I'll certainly be asking them to take it down. If they don't take it down, then I will be striking them. And that sounds a bit harsh, but when you've spent over 5 years building up a channel to get to 90,000 subs, then, you know, I think you can see where I'm coming from. So with all of that said, let me dive into the chat quickly, and then I've got to go and sort my boy and get Anne's coffee on for her coming in from work. So, where are we? Pull this over here. Hi, Lee, Hillary, Kev, everyone. You mean... The Kev, since this is a fun gaming show, can you say the word aluminium, or is it aluminum? See, I can say both, and I know that really cracks Americans up, the fact we say aluminium, and they say aluminum. It's tomatoes, potatoes. It's all the same, folks. It's all the same. Sorry, I got to hear him say it. Not sure what that was. I brought you a sub, Kev. Woo! Uni Rockers all up in the chat. Exactly. And that's what I like about this. And it was Uni that really gave me the kick up the ass to try this live streaming thing. I wish I could be as good at him as gaming, but I'm definitely not. So until next time, folks, keep it real. Always try and find links and sources to what you're being told. Backtrack, see if you can really verify everything you're being told. But never forget, in amongst all of this madness, be it gaming, be it taking a walk outside, be it going for a pint, whatever it is you do that you enjoy doing, don't give it up and don't feel guilty about it. Like somebody saying in the chat, how can we take Kev seriously after gaming anymore? I've never once asked anyone to take me seriously. I'm the Kev Baker Show. I'm full of woo. But, you know, you can't spend your full lives looking at this stuff. It will drag you down. It will have an effect on your health. I can speak to that from experience, folks. I truly can. So just be yourself, have fun, and we'll all be back together less than an hour from now. 50 minutes over on tfrlive.com. With that said, I best go and do my hair, get washed, get ready. You know, thousands of people to talk to tonight. So I hope to see you all there. And I might be back after the show. I don't know. Who knows? Anything could happen. Play it by ear. I'm very open to suggestions from Jimmy and Johnny after the show. So, folks, love you, and I've got to leave you. Goodbye.